I've had my instances in life where I've done dumb things, and it's resulted in me getting hurt. The brightest one that I can think of is, my friend bet me that I couldn't do a front flip from one trampoline to another when the trampolines were like 10 feet apart.
Oh my god.
And I was gonna, and here's the thing. I know I could make the jump because I'd made the jump before, but I'd never done a front flip over the gap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said to myself, all right, let's do it. I'm ready to try it. I'm ready to give it the old college try. I flipped, made it about halfway, and I landed flat on my back, right at the base of the other trampoline. And I'm lucky that my legs didn't hit the other trampoline, because it was like that far away, according to Andrew. He said that much further over, and your ankles would have literally smacked the railing on the trampoline, and you'd have probably broke your ankles.
His ankles are broken.
Exactly.
Oh,
that's what that brings to mind.
Broken.
Either that, or it would have broken both of my Achilles tendons. Either way, it'd have been a bad time. So, thankfully, I landed flat on my back, and when I landed, the sound I made was something akin to this, because I was just like, it was like, hey, here's a just boom, boom, boom. Oh shit! And Andrew's just like, you okay, bro? You okay? You okay? And I'm just like, oh god!
You're scaring the kitties.
What part of you thought that was a good idea?
The young 13-year-old me.
You gotta be careful on them trampolines, man. My mom always told me about how people used to get killed on them all the time.
But needless to say, I didn't tell my mom or my dad about this, because then they would have basically said, you get one trampoline, we're selling the other one. Because that's basically how my dad solved all his problems. Like if
How did you have 2 trampolines?
We bought one, the smaller one. It was like a 20-foot one, and then a family member of
How
ours.
is that small? 20 foot?
The big ones were like 30 to 35 feet.
Oh.
And I'm talking like diameter.
Uh-huh.
So 20 feet in diameter is that's a pretty good one, but it's nothing like special. But the 30 to 35 foot one, we had a family member who said, we broke a spring on this one, and if you all want it, you can have it basically for free.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like, sure, we'll see if we can fix the spring. We could not fix the spring. Mm-hmm. But we basically made a rule. It's like, okay, don't bounce near the spring. And we did exactly that, and no more springs popped off. So we were okay. Mm-hmm. But the funny thing is, we started doing the thing where we put the trampolines together, we hopped over from one to the other. We did like wrestling moves to each other from one to the other. I did like a frog splash from like the taller one to the short one. And did like wah, and just it was fun. It was good fun. But then when you start doing front flips from one to the other, back flips from one to the other, and then aerials from one to the other, you start to want to challenge yourself. Be like, I can make that jump. I can make that. Yeah. It turns out I could not make that jump. And, yeah. But thankfully, I didn't break anything. It just knocked the wind out of me. I have broken very few bones in my life. The worst injuries I've had are my knee from football and my right hand from basically breaking it either on top of someone's head or hitting a post. I got in a war with a metal post, and the metal post won because this knuckle just disappeared. It's a boxer's fracture. Basically, the knuckle impacts and goes down instead of breaks like normal. So my finger still works and everything. Everything's still good, but that knuckle just isn't there. Basically, it looks like a solid line from my middle knuckle to my pinky knuckle. Yeah. So apparently, Mark broke his ass. I mean, I understand how you can break your ass. It's quite easy, especially if you land wrong, because
It's your tailbone, technically, I think is what usually gets broken.
yes, your tailbone / I've heard people also say coccyx, and in some cases the lower end of the pelvis. So basically, resulting in a broken ass that thankfully you will be able to walk again. But, your friends aren't going to stop making fun of you for he broke his ass.
You probably aren't going to be able to sit down for a while.
Yeah.
You have to sleep on your stomach. Sounds miserable.
God.
I've never broken anything, but just the more I think about the idea of breaking your ass, I'm just like, ooh. That doesn't sound good at all.
No, it doesn't. And apparently Mark thought it was pertinent to do an animated version. He told the story on Distractable, and they decided to make it into an animated video for his channel.
As you do.
Yes, as you do when you are as famous as the one and only Markiplier. So, anyway, this is the day I broke my ass by Markiplier.
So it's freshman year. I wanted to do an activity. What I tried to do was parkour, and it was supposed to be a quote.
I immediately know how this is going to end.
The greatest thing is I immediately had the image pop back into my head of when me and my buddy Chance were trying to learn parkour from a guy who did it for a hobby. And Chance tried to do a vault over a rail. And so the vault was you put your left hand on the rail, you take your legs all the way up into a sitting position, and then you move yourself over with your hand and grab with the other hand and come back down and your legs will catch you. Chance goes through the entire thing perfectly until he's in a sitting position on the other side of the rail, and then he just freezes and he goes straight down, just on his ass. It's so funny. I was like, stop laughing at me, asshole. And I'm I'm sorry, that just looked amazing.
So here's the thing with parkour. I knew a guy who did it as a hobby. I never tried parkour. But he said the most integral thing is balance and body familiarity. Balance, as in, you being able to, balance yourself on, any surface you go onto, whether that's you sitting on a rail, standing on a rail, or standing on, a thin wall, to get somewhere, and then of course body control and body familiarity. It's you swing yourself a little bit extra to do a flip or a gainer or something like that. And I've seen these dudes who are experts at it. David Bell, who's considered the father of modern day parkour, and the movies that he was in, where he literally did these insane jumps off of buildings and landed. He did an insane jump off this one building. It was he fell, it was from one building that was 10 stories tall to a building that was 3 stories shorter, and he jumps across and he rolls out of it. Basically, it's all about the motion that your body is in, transferring that motion into forward movement instead of impact. You don't want the impact to really hit you, because then that'll really affect your knees. You can break something a lot worse. So it's best to roll out of something. Mm-hmm. And that's always what they emphasized in a lot of they emphasize that in gymnastics. If all else fails and you lose balance, roll. If you lose balance when trying to stand on one foot, trying to do one of our exercises, don't just fall down. If you can't catch yourself, try to roll to lessen the impact. And it worked. It worked for me. But I know exactly where this is going. They had to mention this one word, parkour, and then immediately I know what's going to happen.
Quote unquote beginner parkour thing. I showed up at the place and we met in the parking garage, and it was me and 3 other dudes, and one of them had done parkour, maybe. And the other 3 of us were just like complete newbies getting in there and just trying to have an adventure. We were jumping around the 4th level of the parking garage. And so we were leaping around there. We were jumping around. We would go like over the edge with like 50 feet below us. And we would just like dance around there for a little bit. And so we actually end up like dropping down 2 floors anyway but the stairs or the ramp inside. So like crawling around the building outside. And I don't die at this point. But we get down to the 2nd level, and it's time to drop from the 2nd story and do a sweet tuck and roll into this little grass patch. So the first guy goes, and he goes like drop and tuck and roll, and it's perfect, and he's fine. And then the second guy goes, and he manages to do it, a tuck and roll. And it's at this point that I realized they assumed I knew how to do a tuck and roll, which I had never done in my life.
Yeah, once again, the basics of like
It's
learning
the kind
to
of
roll.
shit you have to practice before dropping from a distance.
Tumbling, do a little like that in gymnastics. That was the first thing they taught us: tumbling. You know, rolling, like your body familiarity to be like able to roll and be comfortable and like complete the motion of rolling. Like, you know, like what? How much oomph do you have to give yourself to like get over?
So there I am, hanging off by one hand from the 2nd story ledge of a concrete parking garage, looking at a tiny patch of grass that I'm supposed to hit. And in my head, I'm like, it can't be that hard. And so they're all giving me encouraging words. They're like, you can do it!
Come on,
like,
Mark!
I got this. And so I drop. And I landed from the 2nd story straight onto my ass. 100% full on into my ass. I felt...
Okay.
The fucking
like
animation.
Right there. Well, the astronaut here too. The astronaut scene. He's just like
full on.
He's like
into my ass.
Holy shit!
I felt something pop. Weirdly, no pain. But like this stunned thing where you're like on the ground, like, am I dead? Am I dead? And like weirdly enough, I seemed totally fine. I wasn't, by the way. I want to mention I wasn't.
Mark externally, Mark internally. I'm good. No, I'm not good.
Not okay. And then the guy behind me is about to go, and he drops, and instead of falling on his ass, he fell on his face. Oh! His legs hit, he went forward, he did not roll. Right into his face and chest hit the ground. Jesus. And you just hear him go, like, oh, God. Like just all the wind dropped out of him, and he's desperately, like, on the ground trying to get a sucking breath. So, you know, after a while, we're just standing there, we're looking at this guy dying on the ground, and we're like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? But he gets up, like, he gets up and he plays it off like, oh, I'm fine, but clearly his ribs are broken. Like,
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Look at that.
Poor guy.
It's just like, dude, your back is supposed to be at like an angle like this, supposed to be a crook, not like a shape of it, not like an alphabet shape.
You turned yourself into a slinky, man.
Yeah.
are broken. God. And so he gets up, he's like, I think I'm good for today, guys. I'm gonna go lay down. So it's like he stumbles off, and we're watching.
Well, he's gonna go tell his mom he needs to go to the hospital.
5 minutes. So we're watching him stumble away. About the time he disappears out of view behind, you know, those hills. Like we look at each other, we're like, all right, let's keep going, guys.
Yeah.
So
The adventure continues.
we go over to this building. We get to the roof. We hear sirens when we're up on the roof. For some reason in our brain, we're like, they're coming for us. We went into the forbidden zone, and like, you know, we're like, they're gonna get us on this roof. So we all panic, right? So we panic and we run off, and then again, they drop down from this 2nd story ledge onto this grassy part. So I find myself once
Again. Oh no.
again hanging by one hand from a 2nd story ledge looking down. But in my mind at this moment, I'm like, okay, I went backwards that last time. I'll go forwards this time. I know what my mistake was. And so I drop, and I'm like, forward, forward, forward. I saw them roll on like their shoulder. And so my legs hit the ground. I go forward, and I put 100% of my weight right onto my shoulder. And I don't move. And it's just like I hit the ground, my shoulder just.
Well, thank God you did it the right way that time.
Yeah, thank God you rolled forward and saved it.
I like am down there for a while. And I'm like, I'm okay. And I look up, and they're gone.
Assholes.
Jesus Christ, man.
They taught you, didn't they?
Well,
Destroyed
well, he's dead. Let's cheese it.
my body and then bail.
I think the only way that could be better at all is if you look up and there's like two cops just standing there.
Hey.
Just like, we know where you were. That's the forbidden roof.
I hope they lost their parkour teaching license after this.
I don't believe those men have ever been to parkour school.
I don't even think they really know how to parkour.
Probably not.
Probably, yeah. Oh, God. So, I'm just... I'm glad that I never had any serious injuries, like, that resulted in me having to go to, like, a long hospital stay or anything like that. My knee was bad, but, they kept checking on it throughout the weeks, and they eventually did, like, a little scope in there to, like, check on it. And, they saw what was wrong with it, and, they recommended, rehab. And I did rehab, and it went fine, but, I've never had a debilitating injury where I've been out of commission for a long time. And I'm grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful for that.
Same.
But, yeah. Mark, apparently not so lucky. He not only broke his ass, but also probably separated his shoulder. That's it. What did we learn today, kids?
Do not attempt.
Do not. Parkour is for the
Professionals.
experienced. Yeah. Parkour is for, like me, I'm a big boy. I can't really do parkour anymore. I'm not physically fit enough to do parkour.
Anymore.
Leave
Yeah.
parkour to these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it
Yeah.
to Calliope.
Cats are the natural
They're
parkour.
good at it.
Hold on, let's see. Let's see, actually, how tall is David Bell? See, 1.79 meters. Let's see, meters to feet. 1.79. So, let's do inches. 70 inches, so 70 divided by 12. Let's see. Divided by 12, that is,
5'10".
5'8". Or, huh?
5'8"?
No, it is. That's 5'10", sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's I did the math wrong in there, sorry. I
Made
meant
that 5'10"? Because 60 is
yeah.
5.
I meant to
and
do,
then
I
10,
think I hit the wrong, so yeah, 70
5'10".
divided by, so 5'10". So, David Bell is like he's 5'10", and Cheryl Raffaelli, his partner, who does parkour a lot with him, they're both insane. Let's see. And of course, it's always the French, isn't it? Look at that hair. Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah. The two, seen as godfathers of parkour in the modern era There you go. David Bell and Cyril Raffaelli. So yeah. That was one story of Markiplier getting his there's one story of Markiplier getting absolutely destroyed. How about another one?
There's another one?
Yes, there's the fall of Markiplier.
Another one.
You should be fucking dead.
When nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. Totally fine.
Like, okay, so
okay.
you gotta understand that, like, when I climbed in here, I didn't want to tell Bob that I didn't have a lot of room.
Don't admit defeat.
But let me just say...
Oh, this is the sequel to the beds. Remember the bed? You want to bunk the beds?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
While I was laying in bed, I would have broken my nose. Like, I would have go forward a couple inches and I smack into the ceiling.
Pal Clean,
Like,
there's a spider in your bed.
And I could
Bonk.
hear everything in the dorm above me, and it was like I heard people jumping around, like partying. I heard people have sex, and I'm just like, worth it. We have so much room for activity. Like a few days after we did this, one morning, my alarm goes off or whatever. It's like early, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get out of bed. And I had forgotten that I was in a bunk, and so I in a daze. It's dark. I climb out of bed, and just suddenly I'm falling. What did you think? Like, I know you were asleep and broke it up, but I was like, I fall, and I don't remember what happened, and then I was on the ground.
I mean, so I was
you
really
finally
asleep. I'm not a morning person. I wake up super slowly. So I was laying in bed, mostly asleep, and it was like if you imagine what it would look like in a cartoon.
Yeah.
If you're in an office building in a window office, and somebody has leaped out of a window above yours, and they come flying by your window like or something. Like, I'm just laying in bed, and I just see Mark just like, ooh, whoa.
Whoa! I'm good.
And Mark's just on the floor, and I don't even know if I rolled over.
I think he mumbled like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Wow, showed so much concern there, bud. He's like, oh God, Mark, you okay? I'm good.
After I go, you okay?
But you really rolled out like you were just gonna put your foot on the floor. So the way you fell was just like tumbling. Like whoa, fuck.
Yeah, God. But that was the only time I made that mistake. So it was good.
Yeah, the fall of Markiplier. So yeah,
I was on a top bunk in college, but I never fell out of mine.
Oh gosh.
I had a lofted bed, all the way up, but it wasn't a bunk bed. It was just
your bed was up high and everything was free
my
underneath.
desk was underneath.
Ah, smart play. So yeah, that
Because we had a huge room.
Oh, lucky you.
We had one of the biggest rooms in our dorm.
Our
dorm was also haunted. It was the oldest one on campus.
I remember,
and it was an all girls.
I remember when Clint moved into the dorms after me and him decided to not renew our lease at that one trailer that we were in, where our landlord was an absolute dick. Mm-hmm. I remember he moved into the dorms and he said, "Dude, is it too late to renew the lease?" And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "You know what? How about you come up to visit?" I'm like, "Oh, sure, I'd love to come up and visit." I go up there, basically from this wall here to where Nick's right there at the start of Nick. Mm-hmm. That was it. And it was a bunk bed in there, and one desk against the wall, a little micro desk, about that thick, and then another desk at the foot of the bed, and that was it. They had a little light at the top, and I'm like, "Dude, this is your dorm?" He's like, "It fucking sucks, dude. I hate it here. I freaking hate it here."
My dorm was from there to the bookshelf.
Really?
And then from
Jesus.
this to probably where the table is.
Oh my gosh!
And then we had a huge bathroom too.
You had a palace.
Yeah, it was big.
Jesus. I feel like...
And I had the bed near the window.
Lucky you.
And then my... so it was like those extra large twin size ones. So... Well, I guess the bathroom took up a lot of the room. But anyway, yeah.
But still, you had a bathroom in yours.
Yeah.
Clint had there was a community bathroom that was like all the way down the hall that he had to go to.
Oh.
And there was a shower room and everything. And
all of our dorms, all the dorms in that building had a connected bathroom except for ours. We had a private bathroom.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and it was huge.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
But what's scary about that dorm,
what blessing of the gods did you have to do to get that room?
But guess what? It was haunted. There was this girl, apparently, that had, like, jumped out of one of the windows and died.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'd take a little bit of a haunting if my room is that good.
Like, you don't go to the basement. Like, I always took
my
laundry home.
I was gonna say, if I wake up and that bitch is, like, keeping me awake, be like...
I hardly slept in my dorm.
I'd look at her, like, she'd probably be, like, in the windowsill, like, ooh. And I'd look at her and be like, I'm about to push your ass out of the window again if you don't fucking stop.
Shut up, Nate. You're going to make me have a dream about that now.
What? Like, fuck that ghost bitch.
Yep.
Like, I'd pick up some salt and throw it at her.
But
Salt purifies evil.
Like, my... childhood home was not too far away, so like on the weekends I'd take all my laundry home and do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, lucky you. I mean,
yeah. And at the time I was private caregiving for an elderly couple, so on the weekends, I mean, I never slept in my dorm, and I never slept at my own house. I was always gone.
Okay.
Yeah. That house was haunted too, so...
Oh, everything's haunted. This house is haunted.
Yep.
Yeah, we're haunted by a little red dog that, passed away in this house.
Yeah. Well, the kitties mostly. They're haunted. Vega especially.
Yeah. He just goes running full tilt sprint down the hallway. You just hear it.
I think that's why Asher gets the zoomies too. I think he's seeing it too.
Thing is, when he's running, his feet don't have traction in the beginning, and he's just like in the beginning. He's like
the floor in the kitchen is so slippery.
Style.
Yeah,
quite literally. And next thing you know,
it's like he's trying to get momentum.
He corners. Next thing you know, he goes around the corner around the cabinets and then or where the dishwasher is. And then he like bolts into the living room, and then he gets to the carpet, and then he hops up on the couch, and he's like,
"Where'd it go? Where'd that dog go?"
He drifts around the corners like deja vu.
All right, so anyway, that was the story of Markiplier breaking his ass, and also the fall of Markiplier. We hope that y'all enjoyed this. I love these animated videos from Mark. They add a new level of just comedy to his already hilarious channel. So, if y'all have anything else y'all want us to watch from Mark, feel free to let us know. I definitely need to check out that one where he literally, like, destroys planets by accident. He's literally just like, I don't mean to play God, but I'm really curious as to what these buttons did. Oh. That planet just blew up. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, so yeah. I guess that's going to do it. So until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
I am Nick.
This is Bilbo. And
This
that's
is Vega.
And we'll see you in the next one, everybody. Bye-bye.